All right, so finally, we're going to get out after a long break and shoot something outdoors, and it's a fantastic day. Well, we have one more reason why we want to get out is this all new improved Insta360 ONE RS. The twin edition has just come in. Now, this is not something, action cameras in general are, in fact, they are taking over. They are probably sold only next to a mobile phone, they are out there. And in fact, we've been using, in Pixel Viilage and even my earlier avatar as a photographer, we've been using action cameras, and I also have actually seen the way the action cameras have progressed in terms of the image quality, stabilization, abilities, and it's now a suitable substitute for a small handy aim and shoot camera, and shoots fantastic videos and have been shooting fantastic stills and also 360-degree videos too. Few years back, we actually got a chance to review. In fact, it was a small unbox of the Insta360X when it came to India for the first time. We did a small unboxing and video. We did not really take it out, but now you see the world is using Insta360, and it's kind of become a rage for people who are outdoor bound. What we have today is the 360 ONE RS, which is the upgraded version of the R, and we have the twin edition, which means it has a 360-degree lens and a 4K boost lens. And we would like to thank Insta360 for sending this out, and in exchange we are doing this video. Now, you have seen enough videos out there using which you do these outdoor activities like cycling and biking and swimming, action, whatever. Unfortunately, we don't do any of these things. So what I am going to be talking about today is how to use the Insta360, the twin edition, for doing a car vlog, an automobile vlog. Now, what Insta360 sent us is one product kit like this, and also a small invisible selfie stick. And I thought maybe I should buy a few more gear, because they have tons of accessories that they sell to improve, and take interesting shots. We went ahead and actually bought one more. Okay, Insta360, so that makes it 2 kits. And we also went and bought an extra long selfie stick. I'll show you how to do this. This is a very, very useful device. We bought one of this, and for any car vlog, you should be able to mount this on the car body, interiors, etc. So we went and bought not just one, but 2 Insta360 car suction cup suction mounts. So this is going to be our gear for the shoot. We're going to get out, shoot, but before that, quickly, well, I have in fact unboxed it and taken out the camera. It's very, very interesting. The first thing is that it is modular. Even the R was modular, but this has an improved battery. I'm going to keep it here. It's got an improved core. Okay, now this core is reverse compatible, which means the R system lenses can be used on it. The R system battery can be used on it. But if you use the R system battery, you will not be able to use the bracket. But yes, you can use the R system. The core is reverse compatible, and of course you have this amazing new 4K boost lens. And party trick is produced by this amazing 360-degree lens. So it's quick. I mean, you don't need major expertise to, it clicks in place, and the core comes with a screen. The screen can be very conveniently positioned either towards you, to the shooter, or against away from the shooter. And of course, this has this protruding lens element, so it comes with a nice cup, a rubber cover to keep it safe from elements. And of course, this is the bracket. Okay, now for the bracket, I don't have to unscrew the base. It's got a click, it clicks, opens. Slide your Insta360 camera in along with your choice of lens, and you're good to go. Let me actually show you how much time it takes to kind of put it together. So this is the battery. I'm going to pick so it's completely okay to touch the surface of the lens because that's how it is created, but you need to clean it before you actually shoot it. First thing is, take your the core and choose the lens that you want to use with, and just slide it in place. Voila, it's done. And of course, then you need to look for the battery mount. There is these connections. Connect it and slide it in place, and you hear a click, and slide it in place. Make sure that the trigger, the red circle, matches with this in that direction, because even if you slide it the other way, it will still slide in, but you'll not be able to trigger. Okay, so make sure that you matches. Bring it in, press this button. That's it. It is locked in place. And of course, then you use the base plate to mount this onto a suction cup, a selfie stick, a helmet mount, body chest mount, whatever. You can use it like this. Now, I want to give you a brief idea of what this camera is capable of. There are enough and more reading material out there in the internet, so I don't want to bore you. But however, this 360-degree lens can shoot 5.6K video, and when you use with this 360 degree along with the core, it understands the horizon, so it stabilizes the horizon automatically. They call it the flow state. So that makes the your 4K 60 frames that you can shoot with this boost lens buttery smooth. It can shoot 48 megapixel still images. It can shoot a 4K widescreen, that is 2.35:1, like really widescreen video. But of course, your 4K is going to be 16:9, so ideally you should not mix the shots. You should stay with one format. And if I have to compare the lenses with the full frame 35mm, this 4K would be equivalent to, let's say, a 16mm. And of course, this is 360. And of course, you also get a 1-inch, a wider 14.4mm lens as an optional purchase. It doesn't come in the twin edition pack. It takes, of course, the micro SD card. The batteries are super strong. They say it can last about 75 minutes. We have not tested. Now, the 75 minutes is like, mileage for an automobile. It's all under test conditions. And though they claim that this camera can work from -10 degrees to 40 degrees centigrade, Indian conditions can go above that. If you're shooting inside an automobile, it can go above that. If you are mounting this over the engine bonnet, then it can go above that. So we need to see how much this guy can last. But anyway, anything upwards of 60 minutes should be considered good. And plus, of course, you have the Insta360 app using which you can pair these guys, and you can actually see your frame and make sure that it is being triggered or framed properly. Or you can also control the menus from your app on your phone, available for both iOS and for Android. So that's it, quick. If you need any more technical information, this has tons of it. It's got an interesting, small, very sensitive touch screen. So all these controls can be done through it, but I would recommend using a phone. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Like I said, I'm going to get out of this place and go out and do that vlog. In fact, I'll show you how to set it up in a car, and we'll do a small vlog. And yes, we'll come back and tell you how we liked the Insta360 RS Twin Edition. Off we go. Chalo, let's go. Wow, what a ride. Well, see what we got for you today. I don't think you can get any bigger than this. If you want anything bigger than this, I think you should consider getting an earth mover or something like that. And plus, if you want to impress somebody, I don't think you can get anything better than this. Also, thanks to our friends in American Muscle, we managed this again. Well, we're going to introduce some very special people in this video as well. So what we're going to do is, when you do a car vlog or a car review video, it has certain structure, right? The structure involves first revealing the car, then talking about the salient features of the car, both cosmetic, internal, and also functional aspects of the car. Then you need to rig the car while the car is on the move. You need to show the road in front, you need to show the road behind, and of course, if it's a one person talking, then of course you need to rig the camera inside the car cabin, and also all possible angles so that the whole vlog or the review video looks very interesting and not like a very monotonous talking head kind of a video. However, our point today is to kind of tell you or show you how you can use the Insta360 RS and some of the accessories that I showed you earlier in the studio to do an effective car review video or vlog, and whichever format you want to go in. But let me first, like I said, we have to have a great reveal, okay? So for which I'm going to make use of the 360 lens on the RS, and I'm going to shoot it on the 360 mode, and I'm going to use this thing called the extended selfie stick, which works brilliantly. I'm sure you've seen it, how they use it in the internet. They jump off the cliff, they jump into water, jump off an aircraft and all that with this amazing device, and very clever, I must say. So you know how they open this up? They open it up. Aditya, you ready? You can get it? See, this is how they open it up. There you go. It's about 9 feet long, and I understand that there is a new version of this is in the offing and it's coming currently. Pretty nice. It kinds of vibrates a bit, but it takes care of internally because it's got a stabilization inside. So what I'm going to do is to create a kind of a crane kind of a movement, now which was impossible till very recently for a single man army or a one man army rather. So there are multiple ways. I want to reveal, this guy is massive, right? So I want to reveal it in a certain fashion. I don't want to give out the size of the vehicle in the first shot itself. So instead, I'm going to go from here, I'm going to go up like this and reveal the size of the car, and of course also the environment the vehicle is in. Okay, I said car, but it's not a car, it's a truck, okay? It's a real truck. Okay, let me do that shot now. Now the other shots that I must do is, in fact, all attempting this kind of a review must do is exterior shots of the car with the camera, rigged onto the car body. So before mounting the camera onto the car, you must definitely clean the lens. Whatever happens after that, once you are, on the move,
it's in the hands of God. So I just cleaned it. I'm again using the 4K boost lens, and I'm going to mount it. And I have the original Insta360 car mount, it's a suction cup, and I can position it on the body. Okay, here what I'm going to do is, okay, first I have to switch on the camera so that I see the proper view of what I'm going to do. I need to first make sure that I want to include the Denali in the shot. Okay, so this is a nice place to mount. Before you mount, just make sure that the body is, I've cleaned it already, but nevertheless, do one idiot check and mount it properly with the camera on so that you know the angle, because once it is mounted, your movement will be pretty limited. And lock it in place, and there you go. And make sure that you tighten this guy too, so it stays in place. Of course, you know that the Insta360 has a proper stabilization inbuilt, so it will stay like this. And this is not really extending too much out onto the road, because it is still inside the line of this the door mirrors, so that you are not at any kind of risk. But if you are on an open highway, if you're riding, then this is very safe. The distance is perfect, and it's well within the the line of the car body. Another place for the suction cup camera combo to be rigged onto the body is next to the badge, the rear badge. Here I personally would like to suggest the 360, because you can also rotate the lens, or rotate the frame rather, in post. And in case if you want to make an interesting shot where you start from here and you want to take the rear road, or kind of show what is behind and around, this kind of a setup will be perfect. And of course, it's bloody tight. The only thing is, if it falls off, you will not really know. So make sure that this is connected to your Bluetooth phone. Another place you must use is the front bonnet. It's actually a no-brainer. You can use the wide lens, the 4K bullet, or you can use the 360. Both are perfectly fine for this shot. Obviously, you will then see the road ahead, and if you're using a 360, you can turn around and also take some interesting shot of the windshield. Suppose if you are driving through a nice road where there is a nice canopy formed by the trees on either side of the road, a narrow, well done road, then you must do a shot like that here. I will try and find if I can get a road like that around here, and you will know exactly what I mean. But this right at the middle, okay, and of course you need to make sure that the bonnet is clean, and mount it and lock it in place. And of course, if you're using a 360, you don't need to really worry about whether it is straight or, rotated, etc., because you're shooting a 360. But if you're using a 4K boost lens, then of course, you need to make sure that your parallels are right. Otherwise, you will not exactly enjoy the frame. So this is another definitely interesting or must have, kind of a shot. The next place that you must rig the camera is inside the cabin, of course. If there's a solo rider, then of course this side, looking towards the driver, is the best. If there are two people, then ideally you should have another camera on the other side looking towards the passenger too. So the best place to do is either on this corner or on the window screen. So let me try and mount it here. But when you mount this, you have to be very sure that your this is locked. The glass, the sliding glass is locked. Otherwise, if someone accidentally presses the to bring the window down, then you will have a problem. So you must lock it for sure. That's one caution. And second is, you can either use the 360 or use the 4K. I'll prefer the 4K and shoot it in. I want to minimize the the distortion. If I use the 4K in a standard view, not the ultra wide, then I think I will get a decent angle. So we're going to take a look at that as well. But to mount it, of course, clean the glass. Let me come inside and all right, this is a bit of a climb. Okay, and I'm going to close the door and I'm going to switch it on, and I'm going to switch on my camera as well, and I'm going to reconnect my camera. Okay, and I will have to mount it somewhere here. I can look at it and position it. I think this is in a perfect position. I need to reposition my game, and I think this is very nice. Now this is also another place where it's getting hot today, huh? To kind of get a more frontal view of the passenger and also a better view of the driver. So this is also another interesting way. If the light is low, I can actually open and let a little bit of top light come in through by opening the, and not completely opening, but the hard cover and use the roof, to get some top light. That's an interesting position. Okay, so similarly, I can mount it in various places. I can mount one right at the rear, so that you can get an overhead shot of both the speakers and also on the road. And the 360 got a brilliant exposure system. I'm shooting in standard mode today. It also is available, like I told you, in a log mode. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to just shoot in this plain, simple, standard mode. Okay, so let's start rolling. I think I'll need a driver. Because it's a monster truck. I've driven it on the road, but I think I will get the man who owns the vehicle to ride it. And he is an immensely informed person on automobiles, and he will also share. It'll be a nice conversation, but I have to wake him up. Well, I'm kind of sweating here, but he's sleeping. I need to wake him up and bring him here. Let's do that. Yes.
Evening, sir. Shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That entry was fantastic. I mean, almost like what? Hindi movie style. Huh?
Really?
Okay. Let's go. Wow. It's almost like a mountain moving.
Amongst mountains. Look at this.
Among the mountains, yeah. Fantastic. So what do we got here?
So what we have here is a GMC Denali 6.6 V8 oil burner.
It is. It has. I mean, 6.6 liter.
6.6.
And what kind of power are we talking about?
525 horsepower.
525. Wow. It can actually move one of these mountains, I'm sure.
A slight shift, I'm sure.
Yeah, a slight shift for sure. Yeah. And we got some fantastic kind of terrain to really show this guy's power, huh? Here. Maybe it can move a mountain. Can it climb a mountain? Wow.
I'm sure we can.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to go for it?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. This is really a nice climb. And I was not really expecting this kind of a terrain, and it's really moving. And now let's do that same thing
The descent?
downhill. Yeah, the descent.
So we also have an auto descent mode.
Ah,
which
okay.
is-
And you engage that, and you're, and it does
She'll do
everything on its own.
See? She'll stick to first gear.
And she'll crawl.
She'll hold. She'll hold.
She'll hold and crawl. Huh? Wow.
So you can enjoy the view.
This is definitely, what about 30, 35 degrees? Probably more, 45. Yeah.
I'm not a science guy.
Yeah, but
If I was, I wouldn't be so adventurous.
yeah, you would have tried to reason everything. Now that we are back onto the plains, how many such cars do we have in this country?
So we've got on one more, which is somewhere in India.
Okay,
But she being the first,
okay. And you decided to keep her.
this was for me.
This was for you.
So we have like the Escalade or Shelby, the SRT.
Yes.
So they're all pure American muscle.
Wow. So for our viewers' benefit, Siddharth Shah, he is a well-wisher of Pixel Viilage. Yep, and he owns American Muscle. And well, it started as a hobby, or you wanted to?
It's just a passion business.
Is passion.
It's not the core
And,
business, it's
yeah,
just a passion business.
Yeah, passion. And he started getting these wonderful, amazing machines. And you've seen a few in Pixel Viilage videos too. So that's we are riding probably
The ones you stole.
the earlier ones. Yes, is kind of ones we stole. But this is definitely the biggest that you have.
It doesn't get bigger than this, to be very honest.
It cannot get bigger than this, of course. So what we are trying to do here is to do a small mock review. Here, it's more like a conversational type where, we are using this Insta360.
Where this gentleman is grinding me with his questions.
Well, what we are trying to do is, we're going to show our viewers how to create interesting videos using this Insta360. So we have the one which is mounted right at the bonnet top is the 360-degree camera.
Correct.
And this one shoots 4K using a lens called the boost lens. And it's brilliant. I mean, the colors are brilliant. The audio. It also shoots audio internally. It has lots of features. I mean,
Okay.
It's like feature packed like your car. This is a little monster. This is monster. And
But it's doing his job.
yeah, of course it's doing job and more, it is. So what we are trying to do is how to use, lots of people use this for their action, to capture action.
Okay.
Riders, climbers, trekkers, cyclists, they all use this.
In fact, I have used something like this, maybe not the same model,
Yeah, okay.
on the bike.
On
When you're
your
riding.
bike, on a helmet or on the bar?
On the bike.
On the bike itself. And through this video, what we are trying to show our viewers is to how effectively one can use this to also do vlogging or videos or review videos. Automobile review videos.
Okay.
Lots of reviewers use their small mirrorless cameras to do this, thinking that can create better quality. But definitely that's better quality. But this is definitely quality and convenience both,
Probably
together.
more sturdy.
It definitely is, because it can take a lot of beating. I've seen cameras falling off the vehicle and still, you can pick up and start using it
They should be
again.
husbands like that, because we take a lot of beating.
Yeah, true. No, is that true? No, I'll be held responsible for that word. No, sorry. Zip. But coming back to the camera.
Foot in mouth.
Foot and mouth disease. I have that. Also, this camera also is waterproof. It's not just water resistance, waterproof.
That's an IP63 or something.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the cover.
It goes way deeper than
okay.
that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the camera does all that and returns brilliant images. You can take it anywhere, kind of a camera. And the other advantage of this camera is that it is the learning curve is pretty, short.
Okay.
You can switch on the camera do a couple of small adjustments, and then you're ready to roll. So that's a big advantage with a camera like this.
That's good.
So most of these vloggers, they are automobile experts. They need not necessarily be camera people, right? So for them, using this is very good, very easy. Okay, let's come back to the truck. So 530 bhp,
535, something like that.
and tons of torque. I'm sure it has 1100. Yeah. So like we said, moving the mountain is not a problem. I don't know why I have this permanent grin on my face. I mean, if automobiles always have that,
Do that to you?
effect on me, and so I sit inside the car and I start. Well, I don't know if that's the right word. I start feeling the car, and I start listening to the engine, the suspension, the way it rides. I also get, even if it is just a taxi, I get into a conversation
so
with.
the car becomes an extension of you.
I'd like to believe that, because besides photography, other than photography, a place where I have spent my money. In fact, the money that I don't have is on automobiles.
What you have earned from your photography, you've spent on automobiles.
A little more than that, I would say. Okay.
Radha, you ready? Okay, brace yourself.
Oh, okay. Ooh. That was like seriously fast. Wow. She's like taking off almost.
She takes the tarmac off the road.
Yeah, yeah. Finally, one more video done. The Insta360 ONE RS. Well, this wasn't, let me admit, this wasn't very easy. We thought I'll be able to, kind of hook it up and start doing a video very easily, but not really. It has a little bit of learning curve, definitely not as much as you would need with a mirrorless camera, but definitely this has a learning curve. You need to really understand well to get best out of it. By the way, we are extremely happy about the results that we got. This is what we traveled with. Just one bag full of everything that I showed you in the beginning, and the magic, the extended selfie stick, which is really a magic device. Okay, so what is that? I have to sum up here. You saw the footage, right? So please let us know how you liked it. Of course, we will fine tune it as we go on. But a couple of things that I want to definitely tell you is when you work with the Insta360, especially the 360-degree lens tends to latch on to the closest subject, which is in front of it. So if you are recording a horizon, make sure that there is nothing sticking out right in the front, because it tends to give more preference to something which is close to it. If you turn it towards you and if you are vlogging with it, absolutely no problem. Your face will be perfect. Batteries, something which I want to definitely tell you is that if you're working in extreme, hot climate conditions, well, the battery performance can get a little affected. While we worked in the studio with that, we tested the life of the battery. It comfortably lasted for more than an hour continuously. But if you are in the outdoors and there's a lot of heat, and especially inside the cabin can be pretty hot at times while you're setting up and stuff, it can affect the battery life. So make sure that you pace your shoot in such a way that you get small openings or small windows for recharging your battery or buy an external battery. Audio. While the inbuilt audio was excellent, I personally will recommend something like this because it will cut off a lot of ambient noise and especially road noise. This one is the audio from the Insta360. So what we are trying to do here is to do a small mock review. Here it's more like a conversational type where, you know, we're using this Insta360.
Where the gentleman is grinding me with his questions.
And this audio is from the external audio that we recorded separately. So what we are trying to do here is to do a small mock review. Here it's more like a conversational type where, you know, we're using this Insta360.
Where the gentleman is grinding me with his questions.
Another thing I'd like to caution you is about the usage of the app. While app is absolutely important while working, you know, especially when you want to rig it on the vehicle, then definitely use the app to kind of set your frame right, set your horizontals right. Otherwise, you know, you will lose certain resolution if you try to kind of rotate the image and fix it. So that's something which you need to, you know, be very, very careful about. But at the same time, please avoid continuously using the app. This is my recommendation. I found that the Insta360 was not entirely comfortable using the app continuously because, you know, you're constantly interacting with the device, and the device will heat up a little more, and that will shorten the life of the battery. So use this only for setting up the shot, but trigger it as much as possible, trigger it from the camera itself. Well, coming back to the 360, one word of caution: the 5.7 megapixel is the total resolution of the 360. It is not a single frame of the 360. So if you are hoping to shoot everything and then try to reframe it to, let's say, to a 4K, for that matter, even to a full HD, at times you can find the image going a little soft because the 5.7 megapixel is the resolution of the complete sensor. So that's something which you need to be careful about. The 360 lens can be used as an effect lens, but at the same time, we found the 4K boost lens brilliant. Both in the wide angle, which is the 6K widescreen mode, and also the 4K mode. I personally would recommend you to shoot in one format always. I mean, avoid the widescreen unless you're planning to shoot the entire footage only in widescreen. HDR works perfectly. We did not shoot the log mode. We always shot the natural one because we had to deliver this video. We were already late and we didn't want to spend too much time trying to grade the footage, because if you're shooting in log, you're definitely going to get more dynamic range you know, from the camera, and of course you can grade it. So that's definitely a doable, that's a no-brainer. But we shot in natural mode. So net our recommendation is definitely start with one camera. Of course, it's a very affordable you know, package. The Twin Edition is a very affordable package and a great price point. But if you want to get into an automobile vlogging seriously, definitely consider one more. We have two already, but we are considering one more because then, you know, I can just set the camera and go for a 1 hour drive, and by the end of 1 hour, hopefully our videos will be ready. And of course, you can't really expect to take you know, those juicy macro shots with this camera. These cameras are extremely wide angle cameras. So, and the moment you start moving closer to the product or closer to your subject, it's going to distort the subject for sure. So if you want to have that juicy macro shots, and of course you will require a mirrorless or a DSLR with a nice interesting lens on a gimbal. But this is, of course, is for a different set of people. I also found the Insta360 Go a very useful addition to this package, you know, especially with this guy. You know, It can actually remain on your chest. It can probably read the dials in front, the speed, the timings, everything. So this can be an interesting addition, except that the battery life of this guy is a little lower or lesser than the 360 RS Twin. Of course, this guy is pretty small also. So the Insta360 ONE RS, especially the Twin Edition, is definitely a highly desirable product. I have no doubts in my head while recommending it to anyone who wants to use it. And of course, you will be limited only by your imagination.